I'm Dylan, and the words she said that night, during an argument that began over something small but quickly spiraled out of control, hit me harder than anything I had ever imagined, because my girlfriend, in a tone both casual and cutting, told me she should pick her ex over me, and in that instant, every memory of our laughter, late-night talks, and shared dreams felt fragile, almost irrelevant. The evening had started with the ordinary tension of clashing schedules and small misunderstandings, the kind of disagreements that couples often brush off, but somehow, this one escalated, fueled by exhaustion, unspoken frustrations, and a lingering sense that we had stopped truly listening to each other. I had tried to keep calm, carefully choosing my words, explaining why I felt hurt, and why certain decisions mattered to me, but her words shattered the equilibrium I thought we shared. For a moment, I froze, staring at her, unable to comprehend how someone I trusted, someone I loved, could voice a thought that made me feel so expendable, like my place in her heart was negotiable, like the love I had invested in our relationship could be compared, ranked, and dismissed in the heat of the moment. I didn't respond immediately, because my mind was spinning, trying to parse the meaning behind her statement. Was it meant to wound, to provoke, or was it a careless truth that had slipped out in anger? Each possibility twisted the knife differently, but none of them lessened the pain. My chest tightened, my throat burned, and a wave of disbelief washed over me as I replayed our entire relationship in my head, searching for signs that I had ignored, moments that had hinted at unresolved feelings from her past, or cracks I had failed to notice. The hurt was raw and almost physical, a weight that made it hard to breathe, hard to think, hard to feel anything beyond the sharp sting of rejection. I realized, painfully, that love is not only about shared moments and promises, it is also about trust, respect, and the sense that you matter more than someone else's past, and in that moment, I felt the absence of those assurances. The hours after the argument were unbearable. I walked the city streets alone, letting the cold night air hit my face, hoping it would clear my mind, but the words repeated themselves endlessly, echoing louder with each replay. I should pick my ex over you. I questioned everything, my worth, our future, whether I had misread signs, or if I had been naive to believe that emotional honesty and care could outweigh old attachments. And yet, through the swirl of hurt and doubt, a quiet realization began to surface. Her words revealed not just a personal choice but a pattern of unresolved feelings, and while the pain was real, it also highlighted the importance of boundaries, self-respect, and the courage to face emotional truths without flinching. By morning, the ache had not disappeared, but it had transformed. I knew that confrontation was necessary, not to punish or shame, but to understand, clarify, and define the terms of our relationship moving forward. I needed to communicate how deeply her statement had hurt me, why it mattered, and whether her lingering connection to the past could coexist with a healthy, trusting partnership. When we finally spoke, I addressed the words with calm precision, describing the impact on my heart and mind, the questions it raised, and the doubts it planted. She listened, at first defensive, then reflective, and in that silence, I saw the weight of acknowledgement in her eyes, the unspoken realization that some words, once uttered, can mark a turning point, forcing a relationship to confront uncomfortable truths. By the end of our conversation, clarity emerged, though not necessarily resolution. I understood that love requires more than emotion. It demands honesty, accountability, and respect for each other's emotional well-being. I also recognized that the moment of hurt could serve as a catalyst for growth, for both of us to examine our choices, understand our boundaries, and determine whether the relationship was built on a foundation strong enough to withstand the tests that life and past attachments inevitably impose. Her words, as painful as they were, became a lesson in courage, self-respect, and emotional intelligence, to love fully while recognizing when your heart needs protection, and to communicate truths, even uncomfortable ones, so that the people who matter most know both the depth of your care and the limits of your tolerance. Walking away that morning, I felt shaken, yes, but also empowered, carrying with me the knowledge that heartbreak can coexist with wisdom, pain can coexist with clarity, and sometimes, the most hurtful statements can be the ones that awaken us to the strength we didn't know we had.